Hello everyone, welcome to PP English Learning and Conversation. Today in this video you are going to learn figures of speech from the poem Song of the Open Road. In HSC board examinations, figure of speech is asked for 2 marks. 1 mark for identifying the correct figure of speech and another mark for writing correct explanation or finding another examples of the same kind. So let's begin. The title of the poem is Song of the Open Road. The figure of speech used in the title is metaphor. Metaphor is a figure of speech where there is indirect comparison between two things. Here, the road is indirectly compared with the journey of life. So in the answer, write the name of the figure of speech, that is metaphor, and the explanation for the same. The road is indirectly compared with the journey of life. First stanza, first line. Afoot and light-hearted I take to the open road. The figure of speech used in the line is inversion. Inversion is a figure of speech where the order of the words in the sentence is jumbled for the poetic effect. Explanation. The word order is changed for musical effect. The correct word order is I take to the open road, afoot and light-hearted. Next line. The long brown path before me leading wherever I choose. The figure of speech used in this line is alliteration. Alliteration is a figure of speech in which 2 or more neighboring words have the same first consonant sound. In this line, the sound of the letter L is repeated twice in the words long and leading. That is for the poetic effect, or you can write musical effect. Next line. Henceforth I ask not good fortune, I myself am good fortune. The figure of speech used in the given line is repetition. Repetition is a figure of speech where a word or group of words is repeated for the poetic effect. The explanation is the word good fortune is repeated for the poetic effect. Students, when you are writing explanation, you have to put good fortune into single inverted comma. Next line. Henceforth I whimper no more, postpone no more, need nothing. The figure of speech used in the line is repetition. As I have already told you that repetition is a figure of speech wherein a word or group of words repeated for the poetic effect. The explanation is the words no more have been repeated for the musical effect. We have one more figure of speech in the same line, that is alliteration. Alliteration is a figure of speech in which 2 or more neighboring words have the same first consonant sound. And the explanation is the sound of the letter N is repeated for the musical effect. One more figure of speech is there in the same line, that is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a poetic device in which a word is used to represent a sound. Here in the given line, whimper is a word that indicates sound. So the figure of speech is onomatopoeia. We have one more figure of speech in the same line, that is climax. Climax is a figure of speech where words are arranged in their ascending order of importance. The explanation is the words in the given line are arranged in their ascending order of importance. Next line. Done with indoor complaints, libraries, querulous criticisms. The figure of speech used in the line is tautology. Tautology is the use of different words to say the same thing. Here, the words complaint and querulous express same meaning. There is one more figure of speech in the same line, that is transferred epithet. Here, epithet means an adjective. Transferred epithet is when an adjective is used to describe one thing is transferred to another. The epithet, that is an adjective, querulous, is transferred from people to their criticisms. So it is transferred epithet. Here we have one more figure of speech in the same line. That is done with indoor complaints, libraries, querulous criticisms. The figure of speech is alliteration. As I have already told, alliteration is a figure of speech in which two or more neighboring words have the same first consonant sound. Here, the sound K of the letters Q and C in the words querulous and criticisms are repeated for the poetic effect. You can write the explanation as following. The explanation is, the sound K is repeated for the poetic effect or musical effect. We have one more figure of speech in the same line. That is climax. Climax is a figure of speech where the words are arranged in their ascending order of importance. The words are arranged in their ascending order of importance. So it is climax. Next poetic line. Strong and contained, I travel the open road. The figure of speech used in this line is inversion. Inversion is a figure of speech where the order of the words in a sentence is jumbled for the poetic effect. The explanation is, the words are not arranged in a correct prose order. The correct prose order is, I travel the open road, strong and contained. Next line, I know they are very well where they are. The figure of speech used in this line is repetition. And the explanation is, the words they are have been repeated for the poetic effect or musical effect. Here you have to put the words they are into single inverted comma. The next line is, still here I carry my old delicious burdens. The figure of speech used in this line is paradox. Paradox is a figure of speech where the opposite words or contradictory words are combined to create special effect. The explanation is, here the opposite words delicious and burdens are combined to create special effect. Burdens are described as delicious, which is absurd, meaningless. So it is paradox. In the same line, we have one more figure of speech, that is metaphor. Metaphor is a figure of speech where two things are compared. The explanation, here old sweet memories are indirectly compared to something delicious. In the same line, that is, still here I carry my old delicious burdens. We have one more figure of speech, that is transferred epithet. The epithet, that is adjective, delicious is transferred to burdens. The adjective delicious is usually used for tasty food. So it is transferred from food to burden. So it is transferred epithet. Next line, I carry them, men and women, I carry them with me wherever I go. The figure of speech used in this line is repetition. Here, the words I carry them are repeated for the poetic effect. Next line, I am filled with them and I will fill them in return. The figure of speech used in this line is repetition. And the explanation is, the word fill is repeated for the musical effect or poetic effect. Here you have to put the word fill into single inverted comma. Thank you.